Hi, it's Jeff.
And Denise from Mousesteps.com.
And this is episode number 364 of Mousesteps Weekly.
Sponsored by MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel. Disney's Yacht Club Resort just reopened after being closed for the NBA. And MEI and Mouse Fan Travel can help you with your Disney trip, whether you're going to Disney's Yacht Club Resort or anywhere else on property. Universal, of course.
That's right, Universal Fan Travel as well.
Mm-hmm. But definitely check them out, and especially for 2021. But of course, the parks are open now, on essentially a limited basis.
Well, speaking of the parks, here we are. We're arriving to the Magic Kingdom.
Yes, and so I mentioned the limited basis a second ago, and every day that we go, you can have one park. That's how it's been since the parks have reopened. So
no park hopping.
No park hopping. So on this day, we went to the Magic Kingdom, and I think this was our third or fourth time at the Magic Kingdom since it reopened.
And we took the ferry boat, one of our favorite transportation modes. Beautiful views there, the Polynesian.
Well, I just love looking toward the Magic Kingdom right here with all the different transportation. You have the ferry boat, you have the monorail, you have other boats in the background, and it was a beautiful day and a beautiful way to get to the Magic Kingdom. We try to mostly stay outside, so the ferry boat allows for that, and it's just, it's so big, and especially when we're coming in just a little later, I think there was about 30 guests who were getting on this day, right, which was more than last time.
And everyone is supposed to stand on a dot, and people did that very well.
Pretty well, yeah. And so the walkway to Disney's Grand Floridian from the Magic Kingdom looks just about done, and they've been doing some work over here. They weren't doing it when we took the monorail, but I'm looking forward to it.
It's sort of like a swinging bridge, so that should be very interesting. You can walk all the way from the Magic Kingdom to Disney's Grand Floridian very soon, when it opens, of course.
Yes, and so I think this is a boat dock. And because the boat dock for the Polynesian and Grand Floridian had been closed like last year.
And it looks like they're expanding this big security entranceway, right? So that'll be certainly needed once the crowds start to come back in full force after we are rid of the COVID-19.
We might be with it for a while, but I think we'll see. I'm hoping 2021 will be a more crowded time frame. Once it's safe to do so.
And I just saw you in action, and you're telling me, look over there. So I think in the next, and this is what you are pointing at.
Just is interesting to see all the elements coming together. I have no idea what it's for, but it's like, something new.
Right.
But here we are arriving to the Magic Kingdom, and arrival when. I assume there's a little bit of initial rush in the morning. We don't get here quite in the morning.
We did get a very nice welcome, though, from this fine gentleman here and all his Fantasyland friends.
It was and there's Alice and Tigger and Peter Pan. Now, on this day, it was about, I read 106 degrees, feels like temperature. It was a really hot day. We did spend about 5 hours here.
Yeah, even though it was so hot, it was a great day. And you could see the town square here is beautifully decorated. Not the usual Halloween that we would see at this time, but it still looks great.
We don't know if there'll be Halloween right here for the season, but the flowers look very fall-like, even though it didn't feel fall-like.
That's for sure.
And here is Roy and Minnie. And Main Street isn't usually too crazy during the day because there's not a big parade or anything. Now we're looking at what we're going to be seeing this season. Disney has announced that starting September 15th that there will be decorations on Main Street plus some food items and of course, merchandise, which we're already going to be seeing the merchandise.
And you can see already on Main Street there are some Halloween decorations. We're going to take a look at some of these windows, and you were able to spot, by doing close-ups with your camera, some really nice touches that we had not noticed in the past.
Well, I did an article on them, and just like Clarabelle, well, they haven't had them in the past. This is something I think totally new.
All new, okay.
Like it mentions Clarabelle or Olaf or just some fun little designs. But I also want to mention there's going to be a cavalcade And then the trolley will have characters.
I wonder who could be on that trolley.
Yes,
Perhaps it'll be the
probably
Pooh characters in
Piglet
their
and all.
Halloween costumes. We don't know that, but that would make sense.
There will be characters in Halloween costumes, including on the cavalcade and on the trolley.
And they mentioned Mickey and Minnie for sure, so we know for
And
sure.
Pluto.
And Pluto. And
Right,
Pluto.
and
Pluto always
Friends.
happens to hang around Mickey and Minnie.
Whoever's on the friends on the float. And also Chip and Dale are supposed to be in their Halloween costumes as well.
And we're going to see Chip and Dale a little bit later on in their barge there.
Yes, and I assume they'll be on their barge in like vampire costumes or something. So we're looking at some of the merchandise. Some of it we hadn't seen at World of Disney. You just don't know what you're going to find when you walk into the store.
Well, and the displays. I'm always interested in how the Emporium, especially the Emporium, how they do their Halloween displays every year.
It's very low key this year, I think.
I agree.
Nice, but obviously they're not going to go all out when you don't have as many guests coming. It's nice to have it. I'm very happy that we're getting a seasonal celebration, a smaller one, but it's still nice to have because Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party was canceled for this year. We don't know on Mickey's Very Merry. I assume it's not going, but you can't be too sure on anything because they could find a way certainly to have it if they chose to.
Well, it seems like a very normal Halloween time to have, September 15th and right into Halloween night itself will be the Halloween season, and you have not had a free Halloween season as long as I can remember, and I've been going since 1971, so I don't even remember when Halloween was not a special event. I'm sure it was, but I probably just don't remember those days, or maybe I wasn't coming down in the fall back then.
Well, that's Walt Disney World, because Disneyland and again we're still looking at the displays and all. Disneyland and Disneyland Paris both have had, they have characters out, and that's just their normal thing, is to, even though Disneyland has had, a party in the evenings many nights.
Right.
They still
now it's
have
the Oogie Boogie Bash or something.
Well, and not this year,
right.
But, they'll have the daytime characters as well, different ones. Same characters, different costumes. So it's nice to have that now. And I would love to see it continue where you have some characters and costumes for day guests, and not just Mickey's Not So Scary.
I absolutely agree. Kind of like an appetizer to the main course, you know what I mean?
Well, it's something for those who are still spending a lot of money, but they're not spending money for that evening. So anyway, Disneyland Paris has most of their Halloween is included with the day ticket, like the cavalcade, which we love.
Right. They have had a Halloween soiree, which is a Halloween party. Usually it's on Halloween night. Last year they expanded it to 2 nights, but this year it is canceled out there at Disneyland Paris, although they are going to have their normal Halloween season, except it'll be mostly character encounters from a safe distance with no parades and no shows.
So it's not really a normal Halloween. It's like us, it's
like
different.
It's like us, right?
So right now we're looking at those Halloween Crocs, which have been so popular, but we've seen them everywhere.
Yeah, maybe not so popular because they are everywhere.
No,
They're not selling out like the Haunted Mansion ones that I bought. I mentioned last week. Those I have not seen again, so I'm so glad I picked a pair up.
I don't think that it's not that they're not popular. I think you just have so many fewer guests in the parks now purchasing items that they last longer. We've seen them flying off the shelves at times. So anyway, you have, I don't know if they're going to sell like Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween merchandise. Like, did they have it ready to go
right
for this year, kind of like they have the Hocus Pocus?
I think we'll find out. We will find out very soon, I'm sure. And this shirt with the villains, I really like that shirt as well. I did take a look at it. I was considering buying it, but it's sized a bit small for me. So unfortunately, it is a no-go. But otherwise,
you have a lot of shirts, so
yeah, it's not like I'm in need of shirts.
So anyway, we are seeing that new designs this year. Like, you have Donald as a vampire, and I don't remember Donald as a vampire in artwork before. And we saw this at World of Disney, the different items, the different design in the artwork, and also on some of the merchandise this year. Some of the merchandise is similar to previous years, and we're going to see that also in a little bit. We're going to check out those food items that are coming. And some of those are from previous years, and some of them look new to me.
You know, the thing I miss most about this whole Emporium display is I loved when they had the characters in there. They had the full 3D characters dressed as Halloween, Mickey and Minnie, and they used to take them and put them in the windows after they weren't in here anymore. But so far, well, it's very early, but so far we have not seen them, and I would love for them to make a comeback.
We don't know that they're not going to be inside or outside. We just, you don't know. So it's very exciting because, we're seeing that there's more and more decorations coming already.
And you mentioned Hocus Pocus. There were a few Hocus Pocus items here, including this spirit jersey. And if you're a fan of Hocus Pocus, I mean, it is a beautiful jersey and it's in your color.
Yes, purple. And I am not a fan of the movie. However, that show is really epic, and it is sad that it won't be playing this year. It's such a big favorite, the Hocus Pocus Villain Spectacular.
Oh, yes, at the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. I thought you said, though, the movie's growing on you. Is that not correct? It is not grown on you.
I don't like it.
It's
really kind of an odd movie.
It has grown on me. This is a cup, by the way, a Maleficent mug of all things.
You were really into that mug. It's a very heavy mug. We don't touch a lot of the merchandise, but I wanted to see how much that one cost, and it's really heavy.
In another spirit jersey, this is a really cool one, a Haunted Mansion spirit jersey.
I don't even think I noticed that it was a spirit jersey. I thought it was just a sweatshirt from the front. And also, this would be a Loungefly backpack. I'm sure it's Loungefly with a ghost host. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's the ghost host made outfit there. Really nice. I mean, this whole collection is very popular and very well done, if you ask me. Oh, look at this. Maleficent ears as well.
A lot of purple.
That's right up your alley.
Yes,
your favorite color.
I love purple.
And we're about to see some Haunted Mansion ears, very similar to the ears we got you at Club 33 at Disneyland last year.
The ear headband. I actually put it on now because I totally forgot I had it, and so now I'm wearing it.
And now we're taking a quick look at some more of the windows outside with some of the decorations.
Right, again, the artwork I mentioned, and you can go to my article, which shows really in detail what's in these windows that you totally can't tell right now.
Right, it was too glary for the video, but you did a great job with the camera. I love these pumpkins. Every year I love the whatever is in the mouth of these pumpkins.
And there's more pumpkins that are out, I know, on the other side of the street now, so I can't wait to get back into the Magic Kingdom.
Now we're going to talk treats.
There's going to be treats at every single park, which is really nice. Again, for that, you can't park hop, so you get a treat wherever you go. So starting September 8th, and I assume through Halloween or not too much after that. And there are a variety of different items. Some of them that you'll recognize, like the Mickey Cinnamon Roll, the Pumpkin Spiced Waffle Sundae, which you can see on that top left there. I didn't write all of them down, but there's ones like this Not So Poison Apple Cupcake, which we've had at the Main Street Bakery before, but it's not the Main Street Bakery, I don't think, this time.
Right, and the burger, the Munster cheese burger there, that has appeared in the past, so not all of these are brand new.
Mickey Munster Mash burger. There's also the Jack Skellington Sipper. And as we're looking at this, like, some items will be at the Magic Kingdom. What we're looking at right now is Magic Kingdom, and then there'll be other items for like Epcot.
Right, and I think all of those sippers have appeared in the past, as well as the hitchhiking ghost items here. One is a popcorn, one's a sipper. But Madame Leota is all new for this year.
I guess it says 50 on there, so maybe that's been out. But
yeah, those are the ones from last year.
And then, the Madame Leota sipper, which it's hard to tell what part is like the sipper. But then we also have like I think this is...
These are from Epcot now. Right. Now we moved to Epcot.
There's a variety of different items, including some that will be just on Halloween Day. But you've got like these cupcakes. Oh, now we're going over, I think this is to
Disney's Animal Kingdom.
And so you have a Scar cupcake, the pumpkin novelty straw attire.
That looks like really cool. That novelty straw intrigues me. I don't think they've had that in the past.
No, and I think that will be at all of the parks. And then over at Disney's Hollywood Studios, they have a box of Bones chocolate eclair, frozen apple cider. They have a pumpkin tiramisu.
That looks so good. All of this looks better than anything I've seen. And the drinks.
Right, that's the frozen, like the apple cider. There's two different drinks, one alcohol, one non-alcohol. But the pumpkin tiramisu right now is the one thing especially that I want to definitely try.
We are going to be on the road to the parks
Yes.
starting on the 8th of September.
I'm really excited, I'm really excited for the holidays.
And you can see the moat here has been refilled since the last time we were at the Magic Kingdom, taking a look at the castle.
It had been weeks since we'd been to the kingdom, but now we're going to be going a lot more often.
Because of Halloween time.
Very much so, and that's at least a big part of it.
And of course, as usual, when we're at the Magic Kingdom, these very spur-of-the-moment little parades and cavalcades will appear, and this time it is the princesses. I thought I would include it, though, because it was interesting to see the princesses right in front of the beautiful castle.
Right. So we got Cinderella Castle here. We have Merida. Not really parades. They call them cavalcades, and so we have all the princesses here. And this is really, I've mentioned before, this is the most elaborate of all of them that you will find at the Magic Kingdom. And so you have Jasmine and Belle and Cinderella.
Oh,
and
perfect!
Fairy
Cinderella
Godmother.
right in front of her her castle.
And so this is really nice. And you don't know what time it's going to happen. It's not, I don't know that it's spur of the moment, but it's something like every 10 to 15 minutes you'll have something come down Main Street in Frontierland.
And
area.
as you could see, it's very quick. It's there and gone before you know it. Here is something that's been elusive to me,
Jeff
though.
has been talking about this all the time.
I love the idea of Chip and Dale in these outfits on the Tom Sawyer, barges, rafts, I guess they are, rafts. So I just thought it would be so cool, and they did not disappoint. This was worth the wait to finally see this.
He was very excited to see this. He's been like, I want to see Chip and Dale.
Well, it's different. You don't normally. I just thought it was kind of cool.
I don't mind that it took a while to see them because it's nice to see something different when we go to the parks.
Right, it spreads it out a little bit.
Right, and so they were really cute and fun. And, there's a large area to stand to see them. And I think that's what makes a lot of these cavalcades, and I don't even know what they're calling this. But, the Rivers of America is very wide open here.
Right, they have that whole boardwalk. And, you mentioned earlier that it was about 110 degrees.
No, but 106.
106, was it?
Feels like. It was probably
hot enough.
Yes, it was probably 95 degrees or something at this time.
And this was the hottest part of the day in full sun. And I got to say,
wow.
Chip and Dale were out there for about 15 minutes. At no point did they slow down with their excitement. and if you watch the video that I'm going to link to after, you can hear they have their music going, their bluegrass music and all. It was very entertaining. And here we are, we're seeing them go back. Now they start and end from Tom Sawyer Island, so they must live there on the island.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that's what they do.
A lot of acorns I hear
sure
on the island.
They live there. So you know what? It was very cute. And
oh, another thing, whenever characters are leaving, always watch them, because usually before they make their final disappearance, they'll stop and wave. So I always make a point to see the exit.
Sometimes I do. Sometimes, like on this time, I don't even know what I was doing. I
have
definitely
no idea
wasn't right there.
It was hot. You were probably
hot.
seeking cool.
I think I did go and sit by the little arcade area.
So here we're just kind of do a look around Fantasyland. It wasn't super crowded, but there were a number of people around.
Well, this area was busy, compared to other areas of the park.
Right.
This was probably the busiest location, Fantasyland, over anywhere else we went, because we're going to show you, we went on the Tomorrowland Speedway, zero wait.
Right.
We went on the Barnstormer, zero wait. So
and
some areas were
just
very
to mention
slow.
before we get past it, Gaston's is closed, and the shop here is also closed.
Yeah, I mean, a lot is still closed around the parks, but a lot is open as well. Things are different right now, but it's still nice to be able to kind of enjoy it.
And I like to see the playground without all the water squirting. You can actually walk around and get some pictures. Now we're going to talk a little bit about Tron, the progress of the Tron roller coaster that hopefully will be fully done by the 50th anniversary.
I hope so. And Tron Light Cycle Run is very popular at Shanghai Disneyland. We have not been to Shanghai Disneyland, so
but we're still going to show a clip from it.
Because Leah
thanks to our
and Andy.
good friends. Yes.
Anyway, we went to the Barnstormer, Goofy's Barnstormer, to get some photos and video over here. And I ended up riding the Barnstormer twice because nobody was riding it hardly.
So here is what it looks like in Shanghai, and we're going to talk about this canopy, and it helps to see the finished version first before you look at some of the construction. You see all the different waves and how the canopy is done, and that'll make sense. And here's what that little swoop is. I call it a swoop, and you can see it kind of comes around and then goes up into the show building at the top there.
I can't even imagine it next to Space Mountain. Like, I can't even imagine it yet next, what Tomorrowland's going to look like when that all is done. And I hope we get the Walt Disney World Railroad back by then, too.
And here's just a very quick look at just that swoop area. So I really can start to imagine this here in Florida, happening, being on it. And here's what it looks like right now.
And I just want to mention Leigh and Andy from our Florida project. They are the ones who gave us that.
Yes, awesome
that
video. And nighttime too. We have both. We can link to those also, and I will do that at the end of the show.
And this is from the Goofy's Barnstormer queue, which is really the best place to see what is going on right now, because the People Mover is still down and maybe till at least Halloween. And really, even if we were on the People Mover, you don't get quite this view. They're just different views. But you can see Space Mountain in the background. But then I think there's a piece of the canopy.
Yeah,
here
it looks
next
like
to
the canopy is definitely
taking
shape, the curvy shape of that. So yeah, it's very interesting to watch the progress of all of this.
And again, it's not like we can just run to the Magic Kingdom every day or even like once a week sometimes to see it. We have to kind of reserve in advance. So it's nice when we can make it over.
And these are just some different angles that you discovered as we're walking through Tomorrowland.
I have never ridden it, and I can't even imagine it yet. So
we have ridden something like it, though, at Knott's Berry Farm.
Yeah, but I didn't like that one. So I hope that I'll like this. And so then we went on the Tomorrowland Speedway because, again, no wait. We from the time you saw Fantasyland, and there were lines for things in Fantasyland. Here we just walked right onto the car. No wait, zero.
Right.
And so I just wanted to get a different viewpoint here. And it's really a terrific one. You can kind of see it from a different angle here. Yeah,
it's definitely something that I know a lot of people, including us, are really looking forward to. And I'm glad that they've started construction again. It has changed since we've started going back to the Magic Kingdom in this last month. You can see the changes every visit just about.
At this point, I think all of the big projects that have been for the next, that are supposed to open in the next year or so have resumed. Certainly at Epcot, everything that we've seen, and over here as well.
And now we're going to head back to Main Street, and here is Gaston, and we saw him earlier, and even though his tavern is closed, he's still taking his horse out for a ride here down Main Street, USA.
And there is a reason we're showing this. There was a little change since our last visit, and I don't know if it's like a daily change or, again, we haven't been here in several weeks, so we see Pooh here, of course, and Peter Pan and Alice, and it's always fun to just kind of see these as in this case, we're probably ready to
heading out, right? But instead of Mary Poppins in this position, we now have Tigger. Now, Tigger would usually be coming along on foot or on tail, either way, but this time he has joined the float. So maybe
Aladdin.
With Aladdin. So who knows? Maybe Mary Poppins flew away for the day.
But it's funny to me still that Aladdin, who is normally in Adventureland, is on the Fantasyland float, which I'm sure I said like 6 weeks ago. So here is Tinkerbell, and this is a really nice float. This is not one that we have seen often on our visits. Some of the other cavalcades we have seen
pretty much all of them. Every time we go to the Magic Kingdom, we end up seeing everything else, but this one has been elusive. We haven't seen it since the preview, the cast member preview day.
And I think we did see it like twice on this day, but it just isn't one that we see often, so I don't know if it doesn't run as often.
Maybe it's just when we're there, it takes a day off.
I don't know. And we also saw, I don't know if, and there is Tigger, and I said to you, you need to see the interactions between Tigger and Aladdin because I saw them in Frontierland and they were just
And
so
you're
fun
right.
together.
Well, I always love the closing of the door. This reminds me of Disneyland Paris when we would go and watch the parade and follow it out. So this is pretty much the end of the day. It's Town Square. We're looking at the flag, and we both said we really need to stay around and be here for our flag retreat one of these days, and we will make that happen. And then we headed to the Express monorail to check this out.
Right. Instead of taking the ferry boat, I really wanted to see the walking path that is almost complete now to Disney's Grand Floridian. And I'm really excited about this because it will allow walking from the Magic Kingdom to the TTC. And now Disney's Grand Floridian is not open to guests right now. The villas are, but the regular building is still being used for, or the main area is being used for the NBA. But September 21st is the date that that opens. And I'm hoping that we will see the walking path open for that as well.
That's right. And you just saw the bridge area there. Where,
like a swing bridge.
That's right.
I'm really excited about that. That's like the thing I was most excited about, actually.
So we want to thank our sponsor, MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel.
Check them out, you know, if you're traveling this year or especially if you're traveling next year and need a vacation package. They've been in business now for 21 years, and definitely they can help you with anything that you need.
And also we want to thank all of you because now we've reached 800,000 plus subscribers to our Mousesteps channel. So we really appreciate everybody subscribing and watching, and we're going to continue to work hard and get some good videos up.
And you do. You work hard every single day to put up content, and we really appreciate it. When I threw up the channel as just something to go with the website. It was never meant as some, big channel. And for us, it is big. So we really appreciate you watching.
So this week, we're heading back to Disney's Hollywood Studios on Tuesday. And we're talking about making a quick stop in to the Magic Kingdom if we can get a pass. We don't have a pass
on
Wednesday. And then for sure Thursday we'll be back at Epcot. We're very excited. Can't stay away from Epcot very long.
I love Epcot. And then probably Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Labor Day weekend, we're going to stay away from the parks.
That's right. We'll be right here working from home.
We usually stay away from the parks on the weekends pretty much always because Saturdays are really busy a lot of times, like at the Magic Kingdom and the other parks, I think, too.
But rest assured, we'll be back to the Magic Kingdom on the 8th to try out some of those Halloween treats, and for the very first day of the Halloween season on the 15th. So those are booked, and we are excited for that. So a lot of things coming up for sure.
We have a lot of Magic Kingdom coming, but the hours are changing at the parks coming up in the next on the 8th, I think, is when they actually change. So like Epcot will close at 7 instead of 9. I don't know for how long, and then the other parks also lose at least an hour each. So that's something that will be a little different for us. Not having that nighttime. So we'll see, I'm still looking forward to getting back to Epcot.
And unfortunately, we saw a little sad news, a very big sad news actually last night.
Oh, well, Chadwick Boseman, who played Black Panther, had passed away. And it really is just, incredible that he knew for 4 years and he filmed Black Panther. And
colon cancer, what a shock. So young too.
And that was also coming off that we found out online on Twitter, and just because this is not a private thing, on Twitter, on Instagram, and on Facebook, that Jeffrey Epstein from D23 also found out he has colon cancer. So we really hope that he is able to get better soon, and he has surgery. I think September 3rd is when he has surgery. So really soon. But at least he caught his very, very early. So that teaches you, it's very important to be tested. Well, that we had the discussion, we need to get some tests done. He kind of told us we better get on the ball and get tested as well. Especially with COVID this year, just trying to put everything off. But, it's important to get those tests. So anyway, I hope everybody's healthy and safe, and yeah, that's it, right? That's another show. Yeah, that's right. That's another show. And stay safe, everybody. And we'll see you all next week. Have a great week.